Parashat Shemot is something that begins the story of Am Yisrael. It also begins the story of anti-Semitism. And the beginning of Parashat Shemot, we meet Paro. That's a different Paro than the Paro we've met until now, because this Paro has conveniently forgotten who Yosef is. And ultimately this leads to Paro's demise. Paro did not know Yosef, that there was a new Paro who did not know Yosef. How could this be? I mean, technically, he was the leader right before you. In fact, the whole thing doesn't make sense. How could you not know Yosef if he not only was the leader before you, but actually he's the reason why there's even a kinghood in Egypt that is on top of the world at the time? This Paro that did not know Yosef decided to make Am Yisrael the enemies. Make them the enemies because he saw that they're prospering, they're growing, they're building buildings, they're doing good. He says, this is unbearable. I have to put a stop to this. What if they become more successful, stronger than us, and join our enemies? Well, Paro, why would they do that? They are the biggest patriots of Egypt. They built the land, they made it prosper, they only brought good until now. Why would you think like that they would actually become enemies? This, Rabotai, shows you how anti-Semitism is not something that you can stop with protests and all types of public statements. Anti-Semitism is a sword of God that he brings into the world in order to rebuke his children. Anti-Semitism does not make any sense because it happens in the places that the Jews benefit the place the most. Whether it be Germany or Spain, Turkey, in different parts of the Middle East, any other place that we got kicked out of. Before we got kicked out of, you saw how the Jews brought enormous blessings to the land, and when they were kicked out, murdered, raped, and all the horrible things that happened to them in the process, you saw that those lands never recovered. But here Paro is saying they're benefiting too much. Let's fool them into becoming slaves. Let's make them build us Pitom and Ramses, build up these cities that we have so they could build us storage. What's the storage for? To put all of the gold that Yosef got us in those storage, meaning that Yosef got them so much gold they had to build new infrastructure just to store the gold. You're asking the Jews to build you storage houses for the gold that Yosef gathered. So obviously you know who Yosef is. You're also the king that's right after Yosef. So obviously you know Yosef. So how are you saying that he doesn't know Yosef? Says the Midrash Tanchuma, Rabotai Yekarim, listen to this, listen to this. The Midrash Tanchuma says, when it says that Paro did not know Yosef, this is to teach us that as it's written, anyone that shows ungratefulness, anyone that's a kofel, betovat chavero, anyone that shows ungratefulness to his fellow will ultimately be a kofel in Hashem. Just like we saw with Paro that started with saying he doesn't know Yosef, and ultimately the very same Paro says, who is Hashem that I should listen to his voice? I don't know Hashem. Hashem Elokeinu. Hashem Echad.